Where do nanotechnology startups find funding? Imagine working on tiny machines at the scale of atoms and molecules, trying to turn those ideas into real products. It takes a lot of money to do that. So where do these small-scale innovators get their cash? The biggest source is venture capital firms. These are investors looking for the next big thing in nanotechnology. They have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into startups like Oxford Nanopore Technologies, which raised around $679 million in total. In 2018 alone, they got $100 million in one funding round. Other startups like Nantero and Stordot have also secured over $100 million each. These investors believe that the experiments happening in these labs could someday revolutionize industries like healthcare, energy, and manufacturing. Venture capitalists are especially interested in startups working on gene delivery systems, cancer detection tools, advanced batteries, and new materials. On average, a Nanotech startup might receive about $53 million in funding. That's a lot of money for tiny technology, but it's necessary to cover costs like building labs, buying specialized equipment, and running long-term experiments. Government agencies also play a big role. The National Nanotechnology Initiative and other public programs provide grants to support research at the nanoscale. These grants help cover the costs of expensive tools and facilities that startups might not afford on their own. To get this funding, startups need to submit detailed proposals explaining their goals, methods, and how their work benefits society. Partnering with universities can boost their chances, since many government grants favor collaborations with academic institutions. Many nanotech startups actually come from university research programs. For example, MIT Nano offers early-stage companies access to advanced labs at discounted rates. This helps startups avoid the huge costs of building their own facilities. Universities often spin off their own nanotech companies, giving them credibility and access to research resources. Different kinds of nanotech companies find funding from specific sources. Medical startups working on drug delivery or diagnostics attract healthcare-focused investors. Energy companies developing new batteries or solar cells get support from clean energy investors. Companies making nanocoatings or new materials often find funding from industrial and manufacturing sectors. As of 2025, there are around 233 nanotech startups with a total of about $3.7 billion in funding. Some raise just a few $100,000 early on, while others secure hundreds of millions in later rounds. For example, Zeta Energy received $23 million for battery development, and Nano Dimension raised over $37 million for additive manufacturing systems. Funding for nanotechnology startups is a mix of private investment, government grants, and university partnerships. Investors are betting that these tiny experiments could lead to huge changes in medicine, energy, and materials. They're supporting efforts like DNA nanobots for targeted drug delivery, liquid biopsies for cancer detection, and tiny particles for advanced lubricants. These are not typical businesses. They're experiments that could reshape entire industries if they succeed. For founders, the process usually starts with government grants or university collaborations. As they prove their ideas work, they attract larger investments from venture capital firms. Many successful startups combine private funding with public support and academic partnerships. This mix helps cover the high costs of research and development at the nanoscale.